Today's message feels like it is about miscommunication, or perhaps a misunderstanding, and even in some respects, an assumption. And the reason why I say that is the message that I'm getting from my guides is don't hear what I didn't say. Don't hear what I didn't say. Now, for me to put it in the most benign term possible is if you're in the workplace. Now, I've seen this scenario play out in like a little meme or a little video before, which is why I'm utilizing it, because it goes along with the don't hear what I didn't say. But imagine yourself at work, at your desk or your workstation, and you have your music on low and you are just plugging away, doing whatever it is that you need to do. And a coworker comes up to you and says, hey, there is a luncheon right now. Do you want to go get some food? And your response is, no, that's okay. I'm okay here. Your coworker says, why do you hate going to luncheons? Or why do you hate being social? This is one of those moments in which don't hear what I didn't say applies. Because perhaps the reason why you turned down the luncheon is you already brought your lunch to work. Maybe you already ate. Maybe you have a lot on your proverbial work plate and you're going to work through lunch. Regardless of the reason for your declining to be part of the luncheon, it didn't involve you saying, I hate luncheons and I hate being social. It didn't involve that. The person on the other end made an assumption by hearing what you didn't say. This is what I mean. There is some misunderstanding going on, miscommunication or an assumption that's being held by someone in the collective. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you're connected to, but it's there. And it's something that's been held for a really long time. I'm hearing they don't care. If I was important, they would have reached out to me by now. They're probably happier without me. They deserve better. Maybe they're not as good a friend as they say they are. Those kind of like thoughts are all assumptions based on either the person you're connected to or your own, and I hate to say it, sometimes they're insecurities and shadows. Now, this could be something that's being said that you are experiencing. People are saying these kind of things to you, or maybe these are beliefs that you feel yourself. That you're like, well, if I was important, they would contact me, or they're probably happier without me, or if they needed me, they would ask me to help, but they haven't. So, these are situations and examples of don't hear what they didn't say, or you saying don't hear what I didn't say. There's a lot of miscommunication and assumptions about something going on in the collective. So let's figure out what that's about. So I've got these cards from a creator on Etsy called Vibe About It. I'll put it in the description box below. I love a lot of her decks, so I will always mention them when I use them in my readings. But let's get some starting cards. Can you give me some oracles or some clarification on don't hear what I didn't say for the collective's current situation? Something wanted to pop out but didn't. So when that happens, I feel like that's something internal that either A, hasn't come to the surface to your conscious self yet. It might be something subconscious. You might be dreaming about it, or these might be messages from ancestors, guides, or your higher self. So we'll look at these, but we'll put them back as soon as we're done. So we have bird, renewal, transition, freedom, lightness, thrill seeker, adventure, new love. And then we have living flowers, living a happy life, prosperous, feeling fulfilled, alive. You know what this feels like? I said it in my examples, but it feels like the don't hear what I didn't say or they didn't say is they're probably happier without me. They deserve someone better. But if they didn't communicate that they would be happier without you, or that, put this, the the phrase where it goes, don't hear what wasn't said. There's an assumption there. So another one didn't want to come to the table, so we'll take this one then. So violets, devotion and dedication, nourishment, joyful home, good relationships, love, new love of people and projects manifesting. I feel like this card is giving me two different kinds of energy. It's kind of doubling down on if they wanted to be in connection with me, they would call me, they would talk to me. If I was important to them, they would remember to message me back. They're probably happier without me. They've probably moved on. They deserve better. But at the same time, I'm also getting the inclination that the same energy is holding but I'm devoted to this energy. I love this energy. I want this energy in my life. There's a certain level of unconscious manifestation that may be going on. So I'm feeling like a push-pull dynamic right now. This is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like someone who is trying to convince themselves that someone is happy without them, or that they've moved on, or that, they deserve better, but at the same time, there is devotion in this person's heart to this connection. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic, but it likely is. I am a love reader. Let's continue forward. Okay, so then we have clock, new opportunities. Be patient. Make the best out of the situation. Do not give up during hard times. That hard time that we're hearing about here is, I don't mean to trigger anybody, but it feels like it might be self-made. And I don't mean self-made like you're purposely trying to make yourself unhappy. But if you are feeling this, or someone around you might feel this way about you, put yourself where it aligns, but don't do the mental gymnastics. I say that all the time. Don't do the mental gymnastics to make this fit. If it doesn't resonate, it's not your reading. But there is an energy, and I'll try to speak in blanket terms so that it can be applied for you or the person you're in connection with. But there is an energy of someone kind of in the feels of, if I was important, they would message me, or they would return my message, or they'd make time for me. But they've probably moved on. They're probably happy without me. They deserve better. Boop, 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 right? But at the same time, there is also devotion to this energy. Like it's like the energy is telling themselves they're probably happy without me. They've probably moved on. They deserve better. Is a way to help themselves let go of the connection, but they cannot. This energy cannot let go of this connection. And here we have the clock, where it says, new opportunities, be patient, and do not give up during the hard times. The hard times is during self-doubt. During those moments when you devalue yourself and say, I'm not worthy. They probably found someone better. Whatever the situation is, but it does feel like love. And I'm not trying to sell anybody a dream. But this feels like someone trying to convince themselves that someone is just living on cloud nine, rolling in abundance without them. And they're telling themselves this story, this narrative, that they should stay away because that person would be happier without them, while at the same time and simultaneously, energetically, still holding on. And Spirit is saying, don't give up during the hard times. You are being hard on yourself by telling yourself this narrative. Again, I'm not trying to sell you a dream, but this is what I hear. It feels like this energy has kind of like it's hard for me to say it, but kind of a low self-love, so low self-worth, low opinion of themselves, and they're putting this other person on a pedestal. But when everybody has their shortcomings and places that they excel. So before I get further on, let me just see what else is going on. Okay, so then we have two cards that came out. So we have nostalgic yearning, rejuvenation, transformation, rebirth, and passion. To me, that's spirit being like, do not give up during the hard times. This energy will transform. It will be reborn into passion. This nostalgic yearning is not just anything. It's there's an energy that's meant to be part of your life. And then we have butterfly, which is rebirth, transformation, hope, chance, resurrection, protection, happy life. And I'm putting that in the moon because that seems like a double confirmation of the do not give up, the transformation and rebirth of this connection, and the transformation and rebirth of this connection into happy life. Someone is telling themselves to stay away from something that they feel so deeply connected to because they don't feel worthy. But Spirit is being like, this journey is meant for you to find your self-worth and your self-value so that you can come into this kind of love that is deeply transformative, that is meant to be experienced in your lifetime. Do not give up. When shit gets hard, that's where the work is. That's where you keep plugging away. And it doesn't mean keep trying to pursue this relationship. It is love yourself, learn to love yourself, and then this relationship that you are convinced, or this person, this connection that you are convinced is out of the realm of possibility, that starts to become feeling more and more positive, more and more possible. Not because I'm trying to sell you a dream, but because when you love yourself, you have a higher opinion of yourself, opportunities open up to you. Love will find you. Love in abundance will come into your life, but you've got to want it for yourself and not push it away. Okay, let's get some more cards so we can get some clarification for Violet. Oh, that just skidded right off the table. We have is perseverance. Oh, sorry, it says feather, but it means perseverance, gratitude, peacefulness, feeling inspired, freedom, success, reminder to slow down and enjoy your life. There's something about like, I'm seeing the scales of Anubis where your heart is being weighed against the feather of truth. Maybe this is specific to a Libra, but this dedication and this devotion to this energy, there's a certain level of perseverance that you don't want to disconnect from this energy. But, like it says, there's a reminder to slow down. There's a reminder to, I'm hearing ease up on those thoughts that are like, oh, they probably moved on. They're probably happy without me. They deserve better. XYZ, like ease up on those thoughts. Be kinder to yourself. Do things that you enjoy. Take time to like relax at home. Give yourself, get yourself a massage. Take yourself out to a nice meal. Do things that you remember doing as a kid that you're not really sure why you stopped doing it, but that you enjoyed it. Like if that's, for instance, the first thing that came up in my mind is watching anime. If you used to watch a lot of anime when you were a kid, like why not indulge yourself? Have a day where you just stay in your house clothes and you have your favorite lunch and you watch anime all day. Like be kind to yourself. Take yourself out on a date. The point is, let's offload those thoughts of why you shouldn't move towards this energy and start thinking why you should be kinder to yourself. So clock. Let's see what we have for clock. So clock we have parasol, highly respected and honored, open, passion, and focus drive, compassionate and protected by guides and spirits, creative. So this new opportunity by clock, the clock energy, this connection is highly revered. You could say even blessed by your guides, by the spirits, by your higher self. I also feel like this connection, whatever it is divinely protected. Maybe perhaps that's the reason why you're afraid to get close to it, because and you quote feel like they deserve better. No, they are meant to be in your life. There's something profound you're supposed to learn and experience with this person or this connection or whatever this resonates with. This feels highly protected. Now for fire, clarification on fire. So then we have bicycle. It says progress, renewal, freedom, liberty, safety, focus, progression, independence, excited. Honestly, if you can release the self-limiting thoughts, be kinder to yourself. I've said it before in the previous reading, but it really does kind of open up opportunities to you. It sets yourself up for success when you're pursuing whatever it is that you're wanting to pursue, job, love, opportunity, whatever it is. It really does set you up for success when you invest in yourself, when you believe that you're worthy of it, because you are. Nobody's perfect. No one's asking for perfection. Just self-love. And it feels like when you start doing that, oh my goodness, I feel like sometimes when I get a message on a day, sometimes I get residual energy the days following. And I do feel like this is kind of indicative of the energy I read a few days ago. But when you have self-love, the world seems to open to you. And it's not because you weren't worthy before, but the universe will start offering things to you when you are ready to receive them. Like I explained earlier, if you're not ready to receive a great love, you will continue to push it away and be like, oh, they deserve better, or, they'll probably be happier with someone else, versus when the universe is trying to gift you this beautiful connection, this beautiful love, this beautiful experience with another person. You look at it and you say, thank you, universe, and then you just open your arms and experience it. When you love yourself, that you can do that, which is why the universe wants you to learn to love yourself. So let's go for this butterfly transformation card. What else? What clarification can we have from that? Okay, so then we have, there's two. Well, we'll take two. So the first one is balloon. Letting go, independence, party, freedom, celebration, happiness, joy, holding on to hope. So this is letting go of things that restrict you and allowing yourself the kindness and what's the word I want to look for? The ability to hope again. To recognize that this is something that you're ready for. You're ready for this next chapter. You're ready for this new love. You're ready for this new opportunity. You're ready to transmute and transform your life from what it was previously in the last 6 months or a year to something so monumental and new and life-changing that it can lead to some extraordinary happiness. The other card that came out was cross, communication from the spirit realm, positive life fulfillment, faith, joy, sense of enlightenment and completion. When I said that your connection with whoever this is divinely guided, this is confirmation. You may have been getting communication from spirit. Maybe you're dreaming of this person. Maybe I just heard in my head, maybe you've dreamed of being married to them, or you dreamed of your wedding day with them, or you dreamt that you were engaged, or you dreamt that you were already living with them and sharing this wonderful life together. Maybe you dreamt of you being with this person surrounded by your friends or their family or whatever. Like you dreamt about already having the life that you want with this connection. And I'm being told that that's not just a dream. Those are future memories that you can create. So let's get some tarot. Let's see what are some messages that Spirit wants to give you as we close out this reading. So 8 of Wands. This is messages coming in, and not only messages coming in, but the situation or the opportunity coming in quickly. And once there is true acceptance in a place of I love myself and I am grateful for this opportunity, and you're at that level, then things can accelerate at almost like a breakneck speed. The love and the family and the life and the happily ever after you want to connect, or not connect, but yes, connect with, but create for yourself is literally just a hair's breadth away, just around the corner. That's how quick it can come in. Because whatever this energy it is that you're connected to, I feel like they've likely gone through a similar energy as you. It's just a matter of when you have self-love and they have self-love, what you all can create together, phenomenal. And quickly. So then we have 3 of coins, building a foundation, working together, creating together, building a stable home, a stable life, a stable love, a stable connection. Then we have 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is the twin flame card or the soulmate card. I said divinely protected, divinely protected. There's nostalgia, there's love, there's devotion, there's transformation, there's transformation. This whole reading feels like I'm telling you something that you already know in your heart. This would be just a confirmation or validation. Again, if this doesn't resonate with you, this probably isn't your reading. Don't do the mental gymnastics. This will resonate with who it's meant for, you know? Last card. Last card is 2 of Cups. Read that. Perfect partnership. Under divinely connected. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Coins. New abundance. Collective, please. Please. Let's remove some of the self-limiting thoughts out of your vocabulary and out of your mind. And I know it's easy for me to just say it, but it really feels, oh my gosh, I said this in the last reading a couple days ago, but it really feels that when there is something that you want and it's divinely protected, there is transformation, there is building together, there is twin flame, soulmate, or divine counterpart, like soul tribe, soul connection, meant to be energy. 2 of Cups, the perfect partnership. When this is on the table, the universe is going to wait in the wings to bring this in until you're ready to receive it. And when I say you're ready to receive it, it's not about worthiness. It's about how you regard yourself. If you have a low self-worth or low self-opinion or self-limiting thoughts, if the universe was to bring in this beautiful connection, I don't want you pushing it away because you feel unworthy. I would want you to understand that we as humans are all learning, growing, evolving. We're not stagnant. We're not stagnant and we're not static. There we go. We're always moving, changing, evolving, learning, experiencing. We have areas in which we excel and areas in which we need a little bit of polish, and that's all right. That is the human experience. Having a radical self-love for you, understanding, being patient and kind that every day you're growing and changing and healing, and understanding that it's a process. Everyone's going through healing. When you can love yourself exactly for who you are, your faults, your flaws, your highs and your lows, that's when the universe will be like, awesome, now I can bring this in and they won't push it away. This beautiful connection. You won't push it away. And you know it because there is devotion. For as much as you've tried to convince yourself why it's impossible or why they shouldn't be with you or why you're not worthy, you're holding on because you know at a soul level this connection is meant to be. Your soul knows it. So let your soul guide you. Learn to love yourself. Heal yourself. Prioritize yourself. Fall in love with yourself. When you're there, when you're feeling like you're on the right road, then the universe can be like, now I can really bring this in. This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.